Dan Illman, Mike Beer, opening day at Keeneland on Friday afternoon, and we've got a very important prep for the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Race number 8, the Grade 2 Stahl Keenan Ogden Phoenix Stakes. We're going 6 furlongs for $250,000. Remember that Mike Welsh and his ace crew of clockers will be providing DRF Keeneland clocker reports all Keeneland meeting. Now available, drf.com/Keeneland for opening day. They'll be provided daily throughout the meet. $12.95 for a single card. Save with a weekly subscription. Buy now, drf.com/Clocker. Here's the field for this year's Phoenix Stakes. It is a strong field. It looks like a strong betting race. The 3, Whitmore, won this race in 2017. The 7, Promises Fulfilled, won this race last year. And we've got a strong supporting cast as well. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector. Timeform US believes they'll be cooking with gas early. A red bar situation indicates a fast pace. I'm a little bit surprised that they have American Pastime, the number 1, out sprinting Promises Fulfilled, who we know is fast, to the top.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that too. But listen, there's no shortage of speed in this race. There are plenty of horses in here who like to be forward in their races. So this pace could definitely get heated.
I'm a big fan of American Pastime, or at least I was a big fan of the 3-year-old version of American Pastime. I thought he ran very well in that Gallant Bob Stakes where he didn't break well, ended up very wide on the backstretch, and took on a sharp coal front. As a 3-year-old, he ran 4th in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, but it's just been one injury woe after another since then. His most recent race at Del Mar, maybe it indicates he's getting back on the beam. Let's watch that race right now. Short field, odds-on favorite to the outside, American Pastime down towards the inside, trying his best. Certainly an improvement off his first start off the long layoff. Not sure if it's good enough to win this race, but Mike, if he can remember who he used to be, he could get a piece of this.
Yeah, he can. The positive, I guess, from this race we're watching now is that it's only his second start after missing a ton of time. So you sort of feel like maybe he can come forward again. I wasn't thrilled with that performance there in a 4-horse field. Getting run down at the end, but he missed so much time, Dan. If he can get back to one of his good races, he's a factor in this race.
Another horse that's been plagued by layoffs throughout his career is Cove Blue, who was a very visually impressive winner at Churchill Downs back on May 28th of 2018, and so impressive that Dale Romans wanted to run him in one of the big 3-year-old races at Saratoga. Didn't happen. Horse didn't run for the rest of the year. Perhaps he's getting back to his best form, as evidenced by this race at Saratoga. A non-winners of 2 other than. Not a lot of pace going on in this race, Mike. Cove Blue is able to make the lead, is going to hold the closers safe. I thought it was a nice effort. I'm not sure it's good enough to win the Phoenix.
Yeah, it's not good enough to win the Phoenix. But listen, he ran okay in this race. He got control of the pace, and he just, kept finding through the stretch to beat a modest field at best, I thought. I really thought his race 2 back then was a good performance. That 7 furlongs just felt like it was too far for him. 6 is a lot better.
Whitmore won this race, as I mentioned in the Open in 2017, was headed by Promises Fulfilled in 2018. But now he's going to have to do it off a 4-month layoff of a lousy race in the True North. Now, he was on the outside in the True North, and that was not where you wanted to be Belmont Stakes week, but it just looked like he was having problems navigating the turns. He really didn't kick much in the stretch once he got into the straight. I like that they gave him time. I just kind of wonder if this is the prep for the big one, the sprint next.
Yeah, I like that they gave him time, too, not only because his True North was bad, but I thought his race on Derby Day was pretty bad, too. When he was 5th in that Churchill race. I didn't really see his excuse that day. The flip side of that is I thought his first 2 starts back this year were both really good. So if he can get back to his good form, he's obviously a contender in here again. I don't know how much I trust him, and I wouldn't take a short price on him, but I like this horse. I think he's going to run better again.
And if you believe the pace is going to be fast, it could play right into this horse's hooves. He wants some pace to run at late, and I would expect him to be rolling in the stretch. Recruiting Ready's kind of an in-and-outer, isn't he? I mean, he's been a nice horse ever since he was a 2-year-old, and he's run races certainly fast enough to win this, including his most recent start at Churchill Downs, where he went right to the front, controlled the pace throughout. He's also thrown in a couple of stinkeroos. I'm not going to hold the race at Keeneland, the Commonwealth, against him, because that was a race where it looked like he was the main speed. Yeah. He broke from the inside running. They took a hold of him. He ended up in the pocket, and I don't think he liked it at all. So I'll draw a line through that race. And in the True North, he was kind of outside the speed, so I won't fault that race against him either. The Bing Crosby wasn't very good.
He doesn't need the lead, Dan. He also has plenty of speed, but you can take him off the pace. You just can't jam him in behind horses like they did in that Commonwealth you were talking about. That trip didn't work out, but if he can get out in the clear, he can stalk a pace and still run his race.
We'll move on to the 5 Diamond Oops, who kind of hinted at a breakout when he won the Grade 3 Smile Sprint 2 starts back over a horse named Jalen's Journey, a horse that ended up running third in that Grade 1 Bing Crosby, finishing ahead of Recruiting Ready. And after that race, Diamond Oops then split the 2 best sprinters in the country, Imperial Hinton Matoli and the Grade 1 Alfred G. Vanderbilt. He is a big price in this race. He's on the best part of the track. He basically followed the cover of Imperial Hint on the outside, but once he changes leads here, he is able to get into second position over Matoli and Firenze Fire, both horses who might have been stymied by the inside. But this horse is a legitimately fast fig and is going the right way and is going to get the right setup, isn't he?
Yeah, a lot of those things are all true. Obviously, in this race, he took advantage of, some, maybe unfortunate circumstances for Matoli and Firenze Fire, but he still ran a good race in there. And as you say, he's improved with every start this year. Another horse who only managed 1 start as a 3-year-old, but he's back in form now. He ran pretty well last time.
I wonder if against this company, the 6 Hog Creek Hustle is going to find 6 furlongs a little short for him. We know he likes to lag behind near the tail end of the field and come with one big run, as he did in the Grade 1 H. Allen Jerkins last time out. This time, the outside was the place to be as we watch the replay, and Hog Creek Hustle is in those lime green silks. He's angling outside, and he's going to come with a kick, and he's just going to get denied by a nose. In his prior start, the Woody Stevens, Corey Lannery was able to get him to the advantageous rail for the first quarter mile, but I like how he overcame swinging to the outside at the end of that race after being aided by a fast pace. Give this horse some pace. He always has a puncher's chance. I just wonder if 6 is short.
I wonder about that too, but he's run well in each of his last 2 starts. The pace projector, he wants every inch of that to be right. He needs a ton of pace in front of him, but he'll be closing at the end.
Promises Fulfilled won this race last year, and we talked about him coming into the Forgo, and we weren't sure. Is Promises Fulfilled in 2019 a horse that's just been an underachiever, or has he just been very, very unlucky? The Dubai Golden Shaheen, his first race of the year, he didn't break. His best asset, his speed, was taken away from him. In the Churchill Downs Stakes, he got beat by Matoli. Maybe he needed it first time back from Dubai. Met Mile wide against a gold rail. The Rood Stakes, the race that he won, he's not as good as that 108. Yeah, I mean, listen, they gave him just an easy early lead. He walked the dog, and he's supposed to win like that as a big favorite. And then last time out in the Forgo, he's battling on a dead rail with Matoli. So it's hard to analyze exactly where he is, other than he likes Keeneland, and he's going to be forward.
Yeah, I agree with all that. Listen, I'm of the opinion that he hasn't come back as good as a 4-year-old as he was at 3. But I could argue both sides of that, and there are excuses to be made for his races. We'll see what happens here, Dan. He's going to be a short price in this race, and I'm going to try and beat him, but I won't be surprised when he runs well. Engage
ran some fast races as a 3-year-old. He and Promises Fulfilled hooked him up a couple of times at Saratoga, and Engage was far from embarrassed. He came off a long layoff, I think with a prep race at Saratoga, and then Steve Asmussen, his new trainer, just found a great spot. What a placement here in the Bensalem Stakes at Parks. Not a strong field at all. They turn into the stretch. This horse is 9-2, surprisingly, considering his back class. He got the jump on the closers, and he's just going to hold sway over Bon Raison. The waters get a little tougher here, deeper here, but let me tell you something. He draws a nice outside post position with tactical speed.
Yeah, that's true. And he did run some okay races as a 3-year-old. Listen, it was nice to see him get that win there. I still don't know if I feel like he took a step forward for Asmussen or not. I think he just found a good spot for him. I'm just not that big a fan of this horse.
Connections got a little ambitious last time out, sending Hartwood to Korea for the Korea Sprint. Maybe they didn't. He was 7-2 in that race. He just didn't fire without Lasix. His prior race was at Belterra. He was 1-5. He didn't break, which is kind of a problem with him sometimes, but he was just too good for that field. He rushed up down towards the inside and won. He's a horse that usually runs buyers in the low to mid 90s. He's solid with tactical speed. But to me, he's the kind of horse that maybe can round out your tries or supers.
Yeah, maybe he can. I think these races are probably a little tough for him, but, we'll see what happens. He's also a horse who, to me, I think he wants to be forward, so the expected pace doesn't really help his chances.
Another horse taking a big step up from a class and pace standpoint is up next. That's the 10, Zip On By, who last time out was just too fast for those horses. Stumbled at the break, still was able to get clear after 2.5 furlongs, and then just drew away to win in a 4.5 furlong race at Mountaineer. It's going to be tougher here.
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of speed, Dan, but this is a tough spot.
Lexitonian's last 2 races can be forgiven. I don't think he's really a turf horse, and I'm not sure he's a miler. 2 starts back, they tried to stretch him out on synth, and he ran okay. 3 back, he took the measure of Mind Control, who came back to win the Jerkins, but anyone that watches that race, as we're going to do right now, probably is going to concede that Mind Control is the best horse. Lexingtonian's down inside, has been on the pace and is fending off all the pace challengers. Mind Control's in the red hat with absolutely nowhere to go. Mind Control's misfortune, well, Lexingtonian's fortune.
Yeah, he took advantage a little bit here, but he is a very game horse. When you get him into a battle in the stretch, he won't really relent. This is his second stakes win of the year. As things stand right now, he's too slow to win this race.
He is just a little bit too slow from a buyer's standpoint. We'll take a look at our top selections for the Grade 2 Phoenix Stakes. I went with Recruiting Ready. I want to use your horse, Diamond Oops. That is my second choice in here. I'm kind of against Promises Fulfilled, even though you could certainly make the argument he's the horse to beat. And I kind of think that Whitmore's using this race as a prep, so I don't want to necessarily take a short price on him. So I'm keying 4-5, and I'll use the 1 and the 9 underneath.
Yeah, I think we kind of look at it the same way. I wanted to give Diamond Oops a chance here at a price, hoping he gets the good trip and can keep coming forward. I'm not way against Whitmore, but I don't really want too short a price on him. I went 5, 3, 4, and 2.
It's the Grade 2 Stall, Keenan, Ogden, Phoenix. It's the co-feature on opening day of the Keeneland Fall Meeting, and race number 8 is an approximate post of 4:57 Eastern. Good luck.